Welcome to the Dark Queen of Mortholme. As I'm getting ready to start on some bigger games and be away from my channel and posting new videos for a while, I decided to get this little game off my chest. I saw this game about a year ago on YouTube and I was completely mesmerized by it. I just couldn't stop watching and rewatching all the different videos that were about this game. The art style, the music, the concept. I found it just fascinating and amazing. As a concept, it's fairly simple. You play as the final boss of an imaginary Dark Souls game, and you keep facing a hero again and again and again. What is different from a Dark Souls game, though, is that you can also talk with the hero and all those conversations. You really have to see them. So, without further ado, let's get into it.
My queen, an intruder has breached the castle. It's headed for you, your indomitable majesty. The royal guard, all slaughtered. That creature is relentless. Forgive us, O Empress everlasting.
That's just about all the voice acting I can do. So that's basically it. The hero comes, you start fighting, and first you crush him from the very first try, but then he comes back stronger and stronger with better weapons, getting them from different quests, etc., etc. There's not much variation in being Dark Souls boss. I mean, yeah, you're all powerful, you're at the top of the world, but you're just stuck in this one room. And that's the idea that this game explores. What if game characters were actually conscious? This is the idea, which exploration I really very much like to see in games. How would they feel being them? What would be their idea of purpose or freedom? Depending on which dialogue choices you make, it may become more emotional or more distant. In this one, I took a little bit colder route, trying to feel what it's like to be the Empress everlasting. So you can see here the hero has got an extra life. Whoops, what a surprise. And also, I do suck at fighting, but also the game is designed like that, so your moves have a significant delay. It's by design. It's not that I'm so incredibly bad. I'm bad, but maybe not just that much. You can see the hero already started dodging my dashes, and by the end of the game, the hero AI would be predicting every move and avoiding it perfectly. I really enjoy the music here. I wish there was a soundtrack, or at least one track that I'd probably listen to it on repeat sometimes. There are about 16 fights in total, which make one full round of the game, and as you can guess, the hero is gonna be getting better and better and better at dodging your attacks until he defeats you eventually. delaying the use of Magic Circle, the third kind of attack, for as much as I could. But even though I'm no Empress Everlasting, getting rid of the hero started getting really annoying because the game's AI really learns to dodge every kind of attack from you perfectly. This moment marks just about half of the game. Even though the hero just saw the Magic Circle for the first time last game, he fell for it only once, and this round he can dodge it perfectly, almost perfectly as well. This is where the queen either starts having more respect for the hero or maybe even getting a little bit emotional. You can see that she's bowing down a little bit to burn his corpse, or she may also be holding his body to her chest. The full game takes about half an hour, and with the two alternate endings, the full gameplay will be just slightly over an hour for you, no more. This last dialogue very much reminds me of Buddhist mythology, where gods also exist as living beings, and even though they think they are eternal, they do die, and they are just as surprised in the end. Nothing is permanent, not even in the real world, and definitely not in a Dark Souls game. She sits at the top of the world, and yet her only purpose is to be defeated. Watching the game on YouTube and playing it myself is a different experience. Even though I knew everything that was going to happen, still it felt quite emotional to be approaching the inevitable end. I held off this kind of attack as a last resort because I could see the other kind of attacks were dodged by the hero perfectly, but there can be no true last resort if the hero keeps coming and coming. Just before the last fight, there is this one where the hero kind of slips and make a mistake and you can defeat him early, but that's not gonna happen again. This kind of attack that wasn't used much has worked once again, but that's not gonna last. If you're clumsy, probably you could die earlier, but this is definitely the last fight. One of the alternate endings of this game is so-called Pacifist route, where you just refuse to press any buttons and refuse to fight. It's similar to a boss glitching out, and the hero will first leave, but then return and finish the game regardless, because, we need to get all the achievements, just get it over with. This ending felt very much like me, because as a Buddhist, I do my best to avoid the games where you fight. Even though there are no real living beings in games, I still believe that having to kill creatures routinely creates a bad habit inside the mind when killing is the only thing you need to progress. I can occasionally kill somebody in an adventure game where all the actions have consequences, but where you just slash around, this is something that I try my best not to do. There is one more ending which is much trickier to get, and this is the ending where you make the hero give up and abandon the game and stop fighting. To get this ending, you must start after the hero takes you to your true form for the very first time. And after that, you need to use a very special trick of combining maze and magic circle. After you use the magic circle about 3 times, there will be a moment when the hero will be very close to you, and between you and the magic circle attack. And at this moment, you have to press mace attack. The hero will try to dodge and run into the magic circle immediately. You defeat the hero several times, tell him he's not improving, and eventually he will give up. To me, this ending is a little bit special because when I was a kid and I would watch different fairy tales and movies, very often than not, the evil has been portrayed in a ways much more beautiful and much more attractive than the good. And after the movie has finished with the evil being defeated, as it usually is in the kids' movies, then I would lie in my bed before falling asleep and try to dream and imagine another kind of movie where that annoying, stupid, good hero would be defeated and the beautiful, stylish, and all this tragic and deep and alluring evil would finally triumph. Of course, that would never actually happen. Just before this game, And so I choose to consider this ending the canonical true ending of the game. And thank you, the Dark Queen of Mortholme, for fulfilling my silly childhood dream. Thank you, Mosso, the game developer. I have really, really enjoyed it. And I call out to everyone who has enjoyed the art and the concept of this game to go and get it on Steam. You can support them in their art and the future project while the Dark Queen sits at the top of the world, uncontested and undefeated.